Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is Hugo Quintanilla with Long and Foster. Hope you guys are having a great day. I am very lucky to talk to you guys today. Today was a very hectic day, so forgive my delay, but thank you for your patience. What a complicated day. Hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. Tuesday shows you how much has gone on today. And I don't know what day it is. Hope everyone is gearing up and getting ready for the holiday season, being safe, setting up their travel plans with time. But man, the news does not stop. Today's episode was going to be about something different, but in light of what's happened earlier today with Mr. Cooper and the data breach that happened with that company, I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk a little bit about data security and how to protect yourself during a real estate transaction. Since lockdown, everything has gone digital and moved into that direction. So it was bound to happen that real estate transactions were going to go there too. So over time, we've seen more and more of that industry of real estate go virtual. I've had the pleasure of selling houses virtually, remotely, through Zoom and through FaceTime and through videos. I've had the pleasure of working with remote notaries, with clients being at long distances. It's incredible the amount of things that you can do now with the internet and what's been allowed since lockdown. But with more flexibility and more ease of doing business, sometimes there can be very common pitfalls that happen. And the Mr. Cooper incident is a huge one. I wanted to show you guys the story so that you guys can see it. And it's going to be a pretty big deal. It's going to impact a lot of people. It's definitely going to make the stories of the week. I can definitely see it doing that. And the great thing about this article from Forbes is that it talks a little bit about what was hit in detail, as well as steps that the company are taking to rectify the situation. I will share this after the live so that you can have it for your access and to share with anybody that you might know that is working with Mr. Cooper. But they are a huge mortgage payment processor, and that is a ton of information. If you're not aware, let me give you a little bit of facts on what's happening. Hackers stole sensitive personal information of 14 million Mr. Cooper customers, including social security numbers, bank account numbers, and dates of birth. The company has filed a report with Maine's Attorney General office in which it confirmed the hackers stole identity data belonging to more than 14.6 million customers. The following are three great sources to look into if you want more information on the incident. TechCrunch reports that hackers stole a huge trove of sensitive personal information, and that was who reported the 14 million number. And then PC Mag actually confirmed it with 14.6. They were the ones that brought a little bit more specificity. And that Forbes article that I just shared to you was the one that gave a lot of detail what the company is doing and what is actually going on as we know it. This was a breaking story very early on in the day. I kind of wanted to talk more about it during the day, but I wanted to get more information about it because now in this day of social media, you have to be very, very careful about what you're putting out and what we're focusing on. And focusing on status like this and stories like this it's important for several reasons. Because one, no one wants this to happen. This is horrible for our industry. This is horrible for all industries that deal with personal data. No one wants this. But at this point, Having online security is essential and paramount, and knowing where your data is of utmost importance. There are some things that you can do to protect yourself and make yourself less vulnerable to attacks, and also to stay on top of your credit report as well as your identity, so that you're not falling prey to someone that might take advantage of this and might extort these numbers for their own personal gains. So, today we're going to talk about 10 ways for you to stay secure in real estate and safeguard your transactions online. It doesn't take a lot, it just takes a little bit of time for you to do your due diligence and slow down instead of messing up and clicking on something way too fast and losing out on a lot of money. Most times, these cases are going to several months of investigation, so you may or may never see your money back again. So, we hope that there's enough of a paper trail and enough of a sign of what happened to let everyone know who's to blame. But when a hack is performed, it can be devastating, and it can really harpoon any sort of financial plan that you can have. So, let's talk a little bit about the things that you can do. And at the end, we're going to talk a little bit about a small snapshot that I have, that we can talk in regards to the market for the last month of November for Montgomery County. Things are still looking good. So, if you can't watch till then, nothing to worry. Your equity is safe, as they would say. But if you can stick around, please, because I have a few just key things that are always helpful month to month to just keep in mind. But when it comes to protecting yourself online and in real estate, it is crucial. We're talking about tons of money. We're talking about EMDs. We're talking about bank to bank transfers, emails that can easily be manipulated, and you got to stay on top of it. You cannot rest on your laurels thinking that, hey, this email is the one that, oh, so and so always sends me. Yeah, I can trust them. Yeah, always, if something seems too good to be true or seems wrong, 9 times out of 10 you would be we'd be correct to protect yourself and to do your due diligence. No one can get mad at you for searching and researching information about a topic when it comes to your money. So please take the time to do your due diligence and slow down. Read everything. You'll save yourself a ton of headache. And yeah, that's my little soapbox for this discussion. But number one, use secure encrypted communication channels and avoid sharing sensitive information through unsecured emails or texts. Consider using secure messaging apps or encrypted email services. There are tons of services. Sometimes when you're working with a title company, they have their own portals that have dedicated messenger services for you to use. So please make sure that you're using those services that they provide for you. That's what you're paying for. So make sure you're using them. Verified contracts. Always verify the identities of the parties involved. Confirm the legitimacy of the real estate agents. Confirm the broker, the lawyers, and any other professionals involved before sharing personal information or financial details. Making sure that the points of contact on the contract are who they say they are is 101, because you want to be doing business with people that are in fact the people that they say they are. So verifying the contacts that are on the contract are key. If there is somebody that you don't know on the contract, also look that up too, because that could also play a key factor in your transaction. Avoid using public Wi Fi. Refrain from accessing sensitive information or conducting financial transactions on public Wi Fi networks. Using a secure, password protected connection to safeguard your data, it's it's just so commonplace, and it takes No time. You're paying for it already. Really use a secure connection. Don't be doing this on a Starbucks Wi-Fi network or something at the airport, transmitting these data points and this information. You don't know who's watching. Two-factor authentication. Enable two-factor authentication whenever possible for your email, banking, and any real estate platform that you might use. This adds an extra layer of security by requiring a second verification step. And that second verification step can go a long way. We live in a world now where SIM swapping is actually a thing. So if you don't know what that is, that's when someone can socially engineer themselves a new SIM card to mimic your phone so that they have access to that's on your phone. But two-factor authentication in great deal helps to prevent this. And that's why SIM swapping became so prevalent now. And it's something to keep in mind now because two factor authentication is so strong. You have to not only have the input information that you need to get in, the password and username, but you also need to have the device that's associated with the two factor to make sure that your identity is who you say you are. Another great thing, if you don't like to use two factor authenticating, is to get an authenticator. It's an application that works on most platforms that will help you authenticate for most portals. It doesn't work for everything, but when it does work, it's really easy way to have your own authenticator on your phone so you don't have to keep typing in different passwords and codes. It makes it a little bit more streamlined. Beware of phishing. And this is the biggest one that I have to highlight when it comes to real estate transactions. It is nothing but one email link, nothing but one single blue link is all that it takes for you to lose all your money and get your bank account drained. It is just that simple. And I hate to be hyperbolic about it, but really, if you are not if you are not being vigilant about phishing and actually taking the time to vet what you're reading, you're doing yourself a big disservice. You're really putting yourself at danger. Phishing can happen all sorts of ways. Biggest key outliers in phishing are misspelled domain names. People that normally wouldn't talk a certain way, talking very differently or asking for money, all of a sudden communication being very broken or in what seems like a translated language, like for example it's not real fluid English, maybe broken English. You can have all sorts of situations, so I don't want to really harp too much on what the phishing attack might be because it changes all the time. It could be as simple as a charity request, it could be an invitation from your manager, it could be a text message from a hot person, it could be anything really that would entice enough the user to fall for the trap. And they usually revolve around going to a link or some sort of site or giving them some sort of information that's very sensitive and then promising something in return. So that's where the scam can be. Sometimes there's impersonations that can happen too, but really you got to stay on top of where these emails are coming from, who's sending them to you. If you have any questions, just take the time and make a phone call. A phone call can go a long way and save you tons of money, especially if you're unsure of what someone is telling you. Or if the biggest scam that we see is, for example, someone will be given instructions from their title professional to wire the money to a certain place. And instead of having the instructions, following the instructions that are on the portal that the title company has provided, the user finds an email or has been given an email that says that, hey, there's been a change of plans. These are the new title wiring instructions. Use these accounts instead of the other accounts that we've sent you. So the person without a second thought goes and uses the other information. Lo and behold, we go to settlement and we ask where the money is. No one knows where the money is. So that is a devastating attack. And it can take a really long time to get that money back. But it happens all the time. And the banks will not reverse it. So you have to go in knowing that when you make a wire transfer, when you transfer money like that, when you do that on your account, that money is gone. And you better know where it's going. You better know exactly to what account it's going to and to who's going to be on the receiving end of that. Definitely. Secure payments. Speaking on the matter of paying and wires and making sure that everything's on the same page. Secure payments, double check account details before making any payments, verify bank account details, payment amounts, and recipient information directly with trusted sources. It takes a little bit of due diligence and goes a long way. Use again trusted sites. Only use reputable real estate sites and platforms with when searching for properties or interacting with listings. Avoid clicking on suspicious links or ads. There are a million and one real estate marketing firms and companies that present themselves to be mortgage professionals. These companies, all they are trying to do is get your data and milk it for as much as possible and sell it to the highest bidder. When you get that, you are being funneled into a list of leads, and then you are being sent off to who knows where. I sometimes I question whether or not the information even gets to a broker. But you are not actually contacting the person that is on the ad per se. So you have to be careful. Most of these ads and these marketing companies will say they are associated with lender or they are not a lender themselves. They cannot say otherwise. So they'll say sometimes at the bottom that they are affiliated with a mortgage professional. But that's something to keep in mind. You don't want your information just in anybody's hands. Also, something to keep in mind is when you perform a mortgage application, you will also have tons of loan officers trying to get your business because there are tons of services that sell your information to these people because they know that you are in the market for a loan and they know that within 30 days they can market to you without any penalty to your final credit score. So be careful because some of these people will say anything just to get your business and undercut the person that you might be working with. Sometimes, well, usually what glitters isn't gold, and you might lose something by trying to go for the cheaper deal. So make sure that if you are going to be saving money, that you're saving money in the right ways and not losing money in something very simple, such as that. We got two more, guys. Read contracts carefully, review all contracts and documents thoroughly before signing. Seek legal advice if needed to ensure you understand the terms and conditions of the contract. Regularly monitoring. Keep a close eye on your financial accounts and credit reports throughout the transaction process. Report any suspicious activity immediately. Do not take out any new cards. Do not take out any new loans. Do not do anything like that of the sort. What you want to do is monitor and protect. Make sure that nothing alters your credit until the house is closed. After the house is closed, you can do whatever you want. You can buy, rent, lease, whatever. But do not take out any new leases. Do not take out any new furniture and put it on financing. Do not take out any new payments whatsoever. No loans, no nothing. No. Okay? It will impact your credit and it can mess up your loan. So do not do it. And last but not least, educate yourself. More than anything else, the landscape of cybersecurity starts with you. It goes without saying that if you are not aware of an attack happening, then an attack is easier to land. So you have to stay vigilant, you have to stay aware, and you have to be constantly trained on good online hygiene and practices. That's not to say there aren't going to be viruses, there aren't going to be attacks, there aren't going to be leaks, there aren't going to be hacks. It happens to all of us. A mistake is a mistake. But if you take the time to protect yourself and to learn proper online hygiene and prevalent popular cyber attack practices, you can actually protect yourself from a wide range of attacks and have a safe business and also a safe transaction. Because really, cybersecurity impacts all of us. Whether you're buying a house, you're buying a car, you're buying something small, something big. If someone gets your information, the amount of damage that they can do to you can be unfathomable. So we want to protect you. We want to make sure that you're safe and that you are on top of these things. So if you have any questions about cybersecurity, definitely I would talk to a professional about it. I have a few tips and tricks that I can tell you, but these are my 10 favorite things to tell people when it comes to online security in their transactions. Just work with what you know and work with the secure encrypted portals. They have insurance for a reason, and that's what insurance is for. If you go outside of what insurance covers, if you go outside of the platforms, if you go outside of the emails and do something rogue, no one's going to cover you. And at the end of the day, what we are trying to do in real estate is a smooth transaction with zero hassle, zero stress, and protecting you from any harm or liability. We're trying to make this the easiest transaction of your life and not just one of the most important ones. So, last but not least, as I had promised, I told you guys that I was going to talk a little bit about the market for Montgomery County. So, let me briefly just talk about that. There's just about 5 things I want to bring up about that today. And month to month, you'll see the changes very little in Montgomery County at the moment. Supply and demand has pretty much stayed the same, so we're not seeing a lot of change. But these are some key takeaways from the this month's update. There's still low inventory. Currently, there's a remarkably low inventory of 1.1 months supply, indicating a highly competitive market. Decrease in inventory. Over the last year, there has been a significant, almost 41% decrease in month supply of inventory, emphasizing the urgency for buyers to act quickly. Seller's advantage. Sellers can rejoice as the list to sold price percentage stands at an impressive 100.9%, indicating properties are selling for slightly over their list price. Now, keep in mind that this does not take into account the properties that are undervalued that sell for highly over, and it also doesn't take into consideration the ones that were priced really high and ended up getting priced down. Everything kind of ends up averaging together because at the end, when we're looking at the closed, and that's what list to sold is. Swift sales. Homes are selling faster with a median days on market of just 13 days, highlighting the needs for buyers to be prepared to make a quick decision. And median sold price. The median sold price in Montgomery County is 575,000, showcasing a range of opportunities across various budgets. 13 days, guys. If you left it up to the media, they would tell you that properties are stale on the market. So that just goes to show you how quick things are moving and how expensive they are at 575 being the median sold price for the month. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope you ever have a great night. I hope you have a great day tomorrow. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another Live at 5. My name is Hugo Quintanilla. I work with Long and Foster, North Potomac, Rockville. And this has been your little spot to learn a little bit more about real estate and cybersecurity. If you have any questions, feel free and leave them in the comments or send them in the DM. My phone number is 240-389-4846, and my email is hugo@lnf.com. My website is yourrealtorhugo.com because I am your realtor Hugo. And if you or anybody you know needs help in real estate this year or next year, feel free and send them my stuff or send them this live and just share and like and follow. I appreciate all of you that engage with these posts. Thank you so much for your support, for liking, sharing. And don't forget to follow me on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, and on Instagram. I am there. Thank you again for all the support, and I will see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.